Sunhaven is a farming simulator featuring dragons and magic. Join me on an epic journey filled with mythical creatures and breathtaking sceneries as I play 100 Days of Sunhaven. So let's get started. Upon arriving at Sunhaven, we were greeted by two officials, Lucia, the leader of Sunhaven, and Nathaniel, captain of the city guard. We talked about the unfortunate event we experienced and about the dark fog looming, but we couldn't really find a solution or know what it is, so we just went on our way. Lucia guided me to the farm. And this is the beginning of our farming journey in Sunhaven. The very first thing to do was pick a location for my house, and nowhere else really fits aside from this spot. So I placed down my house here. And upon entering the house, and the merchant barged in and sold us her goods. It is a farming starter kit consisting of rusted tools and 15 wheat seeds for 250 gold, but I haggled it down to 150. Good job me. I cleaned the farm a bit so I can start sowing the land and planting the wheat seeds. I also needed to chop some wood in order to finish a quest by Anne. And after telling her the job was done, she rewarded me with a choice of experience, and I chose farming. She also told me about the crafting station. Here I could make planks by using the logs I chopped from wood, and she also explained about the shipping portal where we can sell our goods. After spending a bit more time in the farm cleaning up, I went to the town and headed over to the general store where I met. He was a person with commitment. He handled multiple shops, he said. So yeah, after talking to him, he asked us for a favor to deliver an order to Solon at the quarry. So I figured, sure. And after buying some wheat seeds from him, I went outside. And here I saw the community board or the quest board. Here I can pick up quests given by the villagers. It refreshes every day as people have needs. And after a bit of exploring in town, I headed to the quarry. And upon reaching the smithy, Solon greeted us and accused us of being flirtatious with Lynn, his assistant. Nice to meet you too, I'm Rogue. Our conversation was interrupted as a dragon flew by and caused rocks to fall from the mountains. Solon asked if I could help him clear up the rocks, and sure, why not? I'm a nice guy. Afterwards, we talked about how to get rid of the dragon, and he told me I should ask Lucia for advice. She was located at the town hall. I went to the town hall and saw Lucia with two other men, Nathaniel and Bernard. We talked about the dragon situation and thought trapping the dragon would work. And so, yeah, Kitty overheard our conversation and she wanted to help. So Kitty said she can help by making the bait. So she told us to head over to the beach to talk to Peter about getting a fish. So I went to the south to meet the said fisherman, only to come across a very dirty beach. I cleaned up the beach first before going to Peter. And there, I introduced myself and he gave me a fishing rod. What a nice guy. He showed me the ropes, but he fished a giant bird-like squid and we didn't really need that, so he got us some nice fat juicy gropers. So all that's left now is to go to Kitty and give her the fish. But I got sidetracked and checked out this area, and here I found a chest containing a ring. It gave me a farmer's ring, giving a bonus of 5% experience in farming. This was my first ever accessory in the game. So going on to our main mission, I located Kitty and gave her the fish. She told me to wait until tomorrow, so I went back to my farm, did a little more cleaning, only to find out there was a path on the left side. And I checked it out, only to find that there were monsters lurking. They were called Leafies. They're pretty small, cute, and weak. They didn't look that strong, and I have a sickle with me. And not really a weapon, but a farming tool, but it did the job. I obtained a mana tome and also some treasure chests containing a copper ring, which I couldn't wear because my combat level was level 1. I went further into the forest, but it seems creatures were higher level deeper, so I had to return home. Upon more exploration on my farm, I discovered another path on the lower left side and found a chest with a sapphire ring. It gave 4 health and 4 mana, so I had to wear it. And after a very busy day, I needed a well-deserved rest. Day 2. I watered my wheat before heading out. It took a while since my rusty watering can only hold so much water, and it was a very slow process. I then checked my mailbox. Bernard sent us some warm greeting gifts containing fences and torches. Also, Lucia gave her regards and sent us about 5 berries, which was very useful as mana was much needed in this game. I went to town and picked up some quests. This was going to be a routine from now on, so I won't be mentioning it a lot. I went to the barracks as I had a combat training quest. Here, I tried out the sword and the crossbow. And after trying both out, ultimately, I liked the sword because I only had to pick one. So yeah, going back to our main quest, I picked up the bait from Kitty. I also watered some of her plants. Then I went to the store and bought some seeds with all my money, and went to the quarry to meet with Solon to plan for this dragon crisis. He said he placed an order at the shop for a dragon trap, so I headed over to the general store to pick it up, only to find out that this majestic trap from Emmett. I trust Emmett on this, but upon reading the description of the trap, it says it's a box, literally just a box, but maybe it will do the trick. So we placed the trap for the dragon, and it was amazing how it actually worked. Seeing how the box was so small in comparison to the dragon, I'm not sure what we were thinking here, but I think they're 2 brilliant minds were able to lure the dragon. I think that's a win. But yeah, Solon couldn't deal the final blow with his chicken stick, so they became good friends because the dragon was cute, and I guess Solon couldn't resist. And after all that was done, I expanded my farm and went to bed. Day 3. Lucia came by the farm. She said it was time to pay Elias a visit at Dragon's Meet. So we plan to meet tomorrow at the town square at 10 AM. I spent the day just going around to gather forageables, then bought some seeds and planted them. I built myself a cooking pot, thinking I could make something delicious. And also with my new sword, I decided to grind these crabs at the beach. And I went on until it was nighttime, as they were a good combat experience. Going in and out of the map respawns them, so it was a non-stop combat. I managed to reach level 3 combat before heading to bed, raising my agility to rank 3. Wait, what the hell? There's a dragon here. Yo? It seems a pink dragon visits the farm to eat away at our plants if we don't have any scarecrow, so that's something I'll need to keep in mind. I needed to make a farmer's table to be able to craft a scarecrow, and it needs wheat, so I have to wait until my wheat's fully grown before I can actually make a scarecrow. I then went to meet Lucia at the town square as it was already past 10, and there she took me to Dragon's Meet where I met this majestic dragon Elias. He told me he has been waiting for me, and he asked me various questions about what's important to me and such, and told me there's a power within me, and with great power comes great responsibility, as Uncle Ben says. He gave me his blessing, and now a great power resides within me, but I must hone my skills first before continuing my journey. Alright, thank you so much, Mr. Dragon. After being escorted back home by Lucia, I went and touched the water in the fountain, and it gave me the blessing and gave me mana. Exploring in town a bit, I found a mansion, and with trees engraved with sparkly hearts. So I expanded my farm some more, and hoping I could reach a level where I had the skills to farm and not do manual labor anymore like this. Like summoning rocks and summoning rain clouds to water the plants. So yeah, afterwards I went to the right side of the beach and combat higher level crabs for experience, but it was more efficient in the little crabs, so I went back. On day 5, a giant plant visited us. His name was Weedle, and he spread his seeds in my farm. But they were a very good farming experience, so I just left him be for a while. My wheats were finally ready for harvest, so I got some juicy farming experience from the wheat. And it was finally time to make a farmer table. Also, I never really checked out what was on top of my farm, and only to find out a purple Snorlax was sleeping. He was asking for some apples and wheat, and actually the name of this is a Snackoon. After giving him the food, he disappeared and left a plushie. I now had a shortcut to the animal shop after the Snackoon left. Visiting Kitty's animal store, the prices for these livestock doesn't really come cheap, so I got to save some money. But yeah, this would save me from the constant grind on the soil. I didn't want farming like this. It was a slow process. So for this day, I did some random foraging, fighting some monster, chopping trees, and then I went to bed. A giant dragon visited me asking who the doctor was in Sunhaven. And oh, I remember that doctor's name, it was a Warnhard. Another day and the grind continues. I went to explore the area on the left side, killing some leafies and centipillars. I even took some treasure the centipillars were guarding. And as I was fighting the centipillars, I reached level 15 in foraging. And Elias initiated a telepathic communication with me. He told me to visit him as soon as I can, as the safety of Sunhaven depended on me. I then went deeper into the forest, but was restricted since I felt the next area seemed extra eerie. So I went on another path and found a giant slime who ate a person. It was supposedly a king. I wasn't ready to be the next one to be eaten, so I ran away from the fight. Oh, also, I totally forgot I had a chicken, so I placed him down the farm and got myself an egg. I went to Kitty's animal store to buy some pet food for my chicken. And boy, they were expensive. But my chicken can't make eggs if they're hungry. Afterwards, I went to Rosa to be escorted to Elias. And speaking with Elias, he said a dark energy is spreading in the world. And he must leave in order to talk to his other kin about this. However, he can't leave Sunhaven unguarded. So he tasked me to grab some glorite to put up some defenses while he was gone. So I was needed to head into the east to find the glorite. He rewarded me with a choice to pick from 4 iron tools, and because I needed more chopping to do at the farm, I chose the axe. I decided it was time to confront Weedle, and we had a very epic jump rope battle, and I emerged victorious. My reflex to jumping was too much for him. Upon beating him from his game, I got a little Weedle, a little version of the Weedle as a pet in the farm. And with my new axe from Elias, I chopped some giant chunks, and all that was left now was to clear these giant rocks in the way. I went to the docks as Peter was announcing the docking of a ship. His job was to announce if ever there was any incoming ship. So yeah, a big ship docked at the port and some beast folk disembarked. This guy was Shang. He seemed like an important figure. He asked what the name was of the land, and to my response, it was Sunhaven. And as they were not hostile, I left the scene. I did some various quests in town to earn money and experience, and was able to afford my second chicken. I decided that my animals needed a place to call home, and also so it wasn't hard to find them to get the eggs. So I made a little fence on top of my home and moved the chickens inside. I did a little chopping to get some logs, and finally my scarecrow was done. So I placed it to protect my plants. No more pesky dragons. I made myself a juicer, but its product didn't really give me any permanent stat boost, so I didn't like making any juices. And on the farmer's table, I noticed there was a carrot sword. I was very interested, so I'll probably get some carrot seeds so I can craft this. Then, I decided to spend the day leveling up my combat level, and I faced this Elite Scorepepper thinking I could take it, but one misstep killed me. I couldn't out-heal its damage and I passed out. I woke up at the clinic and the doctor said since it was my first visit, it was free. But the next time I would need to pay a hospital fee. I wanted revenge on it, but it was no longer there, so I killed a lot of his minions until eventually it appeared again and I emerged victorious. I was pretty dang rich today, so I bought myself a cow. And then I went inside the mines for the very first time. How the mines work is I needed to mine random rocks in order to find a rusty key that would unlock the next floor. And if I want to permanently unlock it, I'll need a copper key which can be crafted. My goal here was to mine those juicy copper ores so I can upgrade my gears, especially my watering can. I went home early as I had forgotten to water my plants, and also I needed to place my cow inside the fences so I can get those juicy milk. Since I had some copper ores now, I was able to make a furnace. Just recently, I discovered I could make a chicken coop, and the materials required wasn't hard to obtain as well. So this was something I needed to make. I didn't want to buy another chicken for my farm as eggs were valuable, but right now I'm eating them as I needed the permanent stat boost from it. Once the boost becomes bad, I'll be selling all the produce. I decided today was finally the day I get that glorite Elias wanted me to get so he can go to his kin. So I went to the East Forest. I noticed another Snackoon was here sleeping, and I checked what he wanted to eat, and having an abundance of apples, I gave it my all. But I didn't have its other cravings, so I went on my way to find them. And as I ventured through the forest, I battled monsters after monsters, and I found this guy riding a big bird. He needed help to fix his cart. He was missing a wheel, and after finding that wheel, he needed an iron bar, which I conveniently have from foraging a random treasure chest at the beach. It seems he functions as a taxi, but he needed 200 gold per ride, and I wasn't that rich to actually pay him that much when I can just walk. I was honestly lost in that forest, but after reading this signpost, it seems the destination was just ahead. I went to the Glorite Cave only to find 3 hooligans trying to illegally mine Glorite. So I confronted them and they asked what was I gonna do about it, and well, I'm a swordsman, so I fought them. They weren't really hard to beat, and I managed to get myself a Glorite crystal after that fight. So this was a good win. As I went back to town, Stephen, one of the hooligans, tried to plead another chance at entering town, in which I told the guard he was doing illegal activities and was guilty for the crime. So no second chances, buddy. After smelting enough copper bars, I made an anvil. Currently, I didn't have enough materials right now to make some copper gears, but at least I have a station to make gears now. I noticed there was a set called Bush, and it only required some silk, planks, and leafy leaves. So this was a better armor set to work around with, and it actually had better stats than the copper gears. So yeah, this was my aim. I saved up some gold again, so I bought yet another chicken for my farm. Our animal family was growing more and more each passing day. I then went to the barracks to have Rosa escort me once more to Elias, as I have the glorite ore he needed. So I gave Elias the ore, and he said he will be using it to lay a protection spell over Sunhaven while he was gone. He asked me to take care of Sunhaven while he was away. And so yeah, I just resumed my daily life of grinding and farming since it was a peaceful day. Also, I learned a new skill. Check this out. It requires a lot of mana, but it gets a lot of job done on chopping trees. Once I have more mana capacity and regeneration, spamming this should be no problem. The next day, I chopped more wood with my new skill, and it was so satisfying. And after gathering enough materials, I made the chicken coop. I now had more animal slots, so that means I can buy more chickens and cows. As I was about to sleep, Elias suddenly called out to me that he needed to see me at once. So I went to Rosa the next day to meet with Elias. It seems a powerful spell was casted over the monster-filled city of Withergate, creating an everlasting darkness, and the cause of this was the moon dragon Dynus. Elias said he can't confront Dynus himself, so it has to be me to confront him. I needed to go to the elven city of Nelvari, where I could find the world dragon Nivara. He told me I had to figure this out myself, so I need to head to Amanda at the library to do some research about this. And after talking to Amanda, I need to get permission from Lucia to get a book regarding the topic. So I went to see Lucia. She gave me permission, but I had to use a delicate pair of silk gloves before I could take a look at it, since it was really delicate, she said. So I went back to my farm, I made a fabric, then the delicate gloves with my loom. The next day, Krusty and Angry Rock visited the farm and spawned random rocks everywhere. I wouldn't have mind, but these pesky rocks were harder to deal with than Weedle's seed, so I had to take care of this ASAP. I tried asking it nicely, but well, I don't speak the Rar language. So yeah, I needed help to deal with this. I first went and reported it to Nathaniel. Then I headed over to Lynn, and they were both happy to help, and I was glad I have these two friends in Sunhaven. Next, I had a quest called Dangers to the North, and I went to check it out, and it seems there was a magical bean there. I watered it, and it grew into a sprout, and since nothing else happened, I just left it. And upon arriving at the farm, Lynn and Nathaniel were already working on chipping away at Krusty's HP. I joined them, but I feel like I barely did anything, so I went on my day. Just wanted to say I hate this fog. But yeah, for this day, I collected some leaves from the leafies to craft the bush armor set. And as I went to sleep, I had a little cutscene where something happened to the bean I watered. Finally, remembering about the Nelvari book, I went to the library to check out the book, only to find out I couldn't read it. And Amanda said I needed to talk to Edwin, an elf who frequents at the tavern, as he might help. But after talking with him, he told me he can't help with my problem. I decided to head home and help Lynn and Nathaniel with the Krusty problem. And oh, I forgot to mention, I already crafted the carrot sword, and I'm using it to deal with Krusty. And as I do this, I'm also gaining a lot of mining experience and some rocks, copper, and gold. This was actually a pretty good grind. All I needed to do is hold down the attack button. And I gained a lot of levels. Well, a few levels. I went to the library and talked to Amanda. She said we might need to get an item called the Stone of Tongues. It was a legendary artifact that allowed anyone who possessed it capable of understanding any language. She hinted perhaps one of the merchants would know. And I just know the right person to ask. I went to Anne and asked her about it, and she does have it. But before she loans it to me, I need to do her a favor. I have to dig up some of her valuable hidden treasures in the forest. I didn't feel like going to the forest yet, so I dealt with a more priority of a task, which was to deal with Krusty. It was almost dead, and after whacking it for a bit more and his health bar going 0, he became a shiny cute shell and was taken away by Nathaniel. I managed to level up my mining up to level 11 thanks to Krusty, and also got a pet Pebbles, a mini version of Krusty. The next day, I went to the mines. I really needed an upgrade on my gear, so I spent my whole day inside here, just mining away the day. Since I had extra money, I decided to buy myself an iron pickaxe from Solon to make my mining progress faster, and I finally managed to reach the treasure room after the 10th floor. I then went home and slapped all the ores I got into the furnace before heading to bed. With my new iron pickaxe, I could finally clear out some of the big rocks in my farm. Also, I finally reached a high enough farm level that I learned a spell called Earthquake. It plowed the land for me, so no more hoeing. This saves a lot of time, I swear. And all that's left really is the ability to summon rain clouds, and that is 6 more levels away, or actually 5. And after I finished what I needed to do in the farm, I went out to level up my combat level. I set up some bee farms, hoping that honey would be a good source of mana. And Bernard sent us a letter that they are needing some fabric for the Lantern Festival. And good thing I have some spares in my chest. So I headed over to the town hall and gave Bernard the fabric. And since I had 149 community tokens from doing all the quests, I bought 2 elixirs of farming, bringing us closer to the skill I've been longing for, summoning rain clouds. Also, I reached level 17 in mining, and I was finally able to get a skill called Vacuumulus. It made my mining life so much easier. It created a shockwave, a circle around our character that breaks all the ores. It was a breeze going through floors in this mine thanks to this skill. I was so happy and I managed to get a bunch of ores from this run, thanks to our new skill. I cleaned out some of the remnants caused by Krusty in the farm, and since I had Vacuumulus, it was a breeze. Then I went to the town hall to purchase some automatic feeder and collector for my animals, so I don't need to keep checking on them every day, but I still do to this day. And I placed it all inside a coop. I should probably consider buying a bigger barn or something. I went to fix a statue outside the library for 50 stone. I didn't know I could do this until I approached it. I got a total of 18 tokens from this. Definitely worth to help Sunhaven out. So I resumed my quest regarding Nelvari and talked to Amanda. And I told her I have the Stone of Tongues. I actually finished Ant's quest about days ago but forgot about it. So we gave reading the book a try again, and as usual it didn't made any sense. Forget about it, let's see if this magic rock actually works. Plant a seed inside your bed, grow a dream inside your head. Sleep in soil, rich and dark, leaves coiled up in bedtime bark. What? So Amanda advised me to try to talk to Edwin again. Maybe he knows what it means. So I made my way to the tavern and spoke with Edwin. He said he will tell me about it if I pay his tabs on the tavern. And I asked Mary how much Edwin owes, but it seems he owed not money but elven grapes he promised to cultivate for them. So I told and reminded Edwin about his promise regarding the elven grapes, and he gave me some seeds and told me to try growing it on my farm. But before I do that, I decided to grind some monsters for combat levels, and I went on until evening and reached level 25 combat. I totally forgot about the grapes, so I made haste planting it all before I went to sleep. Good thing it was raining as I didn't have time to water it anymore. I crafted a barn and placed it beside my chicken coop. It was pretty spacious and my future cows are going to love this place. And the grapes I planted last night wilted and died. I need to talk to Edwin about this. And so I went to the tavern and told Edwin what happened. He told me I needed to infuse them with manners or mana. He thought that maybe I could have infused it with mana, seeing I had a Sun Dragon's blessing. And since I couldn't do it, I should seek out help from Lucia, the Archmage. So I went to Lucia and she taught me a thing or two about infusing mana to a plant. And because I was a prodigy blessed by the Sun Dragon, I managed to pull it off fairly quick. I then returned to the tavern and told Edwin all about it, and he gave me more grape seeds. I then went home to my farm and tried out the new method for raising grapes. And oh boy, it took a lot of mana from me. I had to chug down some mana juices to finish planting everything. With the new method, the grapes grew really well. I earned a bunch of farming XP and managed to reach level 27. But it was still not enough to get the rain cloud skill, but we were really close. Also, my cow farm is looking pretty good. I just need to buy an auto feeder and auto collector. I'll need to save some money for that. So yeah, back to the main topic. I went to Edwin. I told him about the grapes. He was surprised I actually managed to grow them. So I gave him about 40 grapes, keeping 6 for myself. I am planning to converting these to seeds and mass produce them. But I didn't have the seed maker skill just yet. I needed some farm levels. So yeah, Edwin told me that book never really meant anything. It's just a simple elven poem. But he assured me that since I had the ability to grow the grapes, it means I had a connection with nature. And that they would let me in because of this. So going back to the original plan, I grinded monsters for the whole day. Also, I decided to give a dash strike at Chai, and it was amazing and cool. Like, look at this. I had to max this. And since it was getting late, I thought I needed to head back. And I stopped by this Nakun and gave him the cravings he needed. Dara, banana, and pepper. I then explored the area, and after reaching the end of the area, there was a glowing well here. I approached it and made a wish. I wished that you'd click that subscribe button, and it gave me mana. The next day, most of my crops were ready for harvest, and finally, this would be the day I get the rain cloud skill. Let me show you the 2 skills in action, and this is the main reason why I bought a bunch of seed. Well, most of my money, how much I could afford. And since now it takes less time for me to plant and water them, I had more time for the day to go do other stuff like maybe mine. Also, this is the reason why I wanted to mass produce grapes. The grape juice increases mana regeneration by 20% for 5 minutes. That's crazy. We'll have like 20% is a lot. I swear, we'll have unlimited amount of mana with this. And then for the rest of the day, I just decided to spend it at the mines gathering ores because I needed to upgrade my gears really. So yeah, even if I didn't reach that far in the mines, around the floor 14, but I did get a good amount of ores to make iron keys with so we can progress farther next time. The next day, I went to Lucia to report about everything that has happened. And she told me to go to the barracks to meet her and Nathaniel first before I left for Nelvari. So I went to the barracks and met up with them. Lucia wanted to commend me before heading out. She said I've done so much for Sun Haven and gave me a seal of Sun Haven and some mana as appreciation. Nathaniel also gave his thanks to me for doing so much to ensure the safety of Sun Haven, and he gave me a military boots. It was much better than my current boots and I appreciate it a lot. Then they wished me luck on my next adventures to come. I resumed my mining shenanigans, and when I reached about floor 20, I found some adamantite, the next tier after iron. So because of this, I don't think I'll make any iron gears anymore, but instead I'll focus on making some adamantite ones as these were better. And finally, I reached the treasure room. I grabbed the treasure and took a look at what the sleepy monster wanted. It seemed it needed a bunch of ores, which I currently don't have. So since it's already late, I went home and slept. Rain clouds, go! And yeah, I did my usual routine of foraging. And I found a treasure chest at the beach containing lots of iron bars. And with my new powers, I bought a bunch of seed and got to work on my farm. Everything was going well, and we're currently farming really efficiently with newfound skills. But I'm still poor. Since spring was ending and I couldn't really afford anything at this point, I bought Bloom at the shop. Then I also bought myself a pet leash at the pet store. And for the last evening of spring, I did the usual of doing quests and helping Sun Haven. And since it was already 7:20 PM, I went to Town Square to meet with Lucia to attend the Lantern Festival. It was really pretty here and there were lots of stores as well, but I spent most of my money already so I couldn't afford anything at all. Cheers to spring. So many things have happened, and summer will be a new chapter in our farm life. We still have so many things we need to do, mines to explore, and Nelvari to go to, farm to enhance, and more adventures to come. So yeah, that was quite a ride. We'll welcome summer with open arms. Oi, 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 why is it burning? Rain cloud. Rain cloud again. Yes, opening with open arms indeed. For this season, I decided to just focus on my farm, mining, and everything I need to do in Sun Haven before I actually go to Nelvari. While I explored the beach foraging random stuff, I encountered this snake buried under grass and being attacked by a crab for some reason. So I helped him out, get him out of the sand, and he was Kai. And for some reason, he lost all his memories. I told him this was Sun Haven, and well, we'll be seeing each other. For this day, I decided to just grind away on combat, foraging random stuff, and farming. Day 2, same shenanigans. Our plants are burning and I don't know why. Maybe because it's the heat of summer and I hate it. I went to Emmet to buy an automatic feeder and automatic collector for my for my barn. I bought a whole bunch of wheat seeds so I can make those scarecrows so those raccoons won't steal my crops. Honestly, at this point, I'm just showcasing the skills and it's really handy and I love it. It makes farming so much easier. No more plowing one by one. I just use my skill and summon rocks. Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure what to do. There's too many things in Sun Haven that I'm kind of overwhelmed, so I decided to clean up the farm. For some reason, even if it was raining, some of the plants aren't watered. It seems like the summer's fire persisted even on rain, and I don't like that. I don't want to water my plants like this. While I was minding my business in Sun Haven, Catherine approached, complimenting us that we're the farmer now. But actually, it was hidden in disguise as she was asking for a request of getting like 25 carrots. So sure, let me plant 25 carrots. I wanted to make another barn, so I bought myself another barn permit. Currently, it's very expensive to raise all these cows because the food is expensive and the cow is expensive, and well, one day it will pay off. Isn't that right, my milk machines? On the next day, I did more cleaning up in the farm and also bought more seeds, planted them to get more money. And yeah, I finished up the day by mining a big chunk of rock besides my plant farm. The next day, dealing with fire again. And then I bought additional cows since I made a new barn and some food for them. Next, I went to the cooking pot, was curious about what I could make. I only made new food to boost my stats. And on the beach, I helped another turtle again and he gave me some diamonds. Let's go. And well, for the rest of the day, I just grinded my combat level with a Scorpipers. Yes, I'm a farmer. When I went to sleep, I had a cutscene where a ghost visited my farm and he watered my farm, and I'm very grateful for this. And per usual, the fire spots wasn't watered because the fire really persisted. Oh my god. Harvest day! Let's go! Finally, I can make the scarecrow now. Also, I found a really interesting scarecrows. A mining totem, combat totem, exploration totem, and fishing totem. Also a gold totem. So yeah, I had to make one. I had to make all of these. So I gotta farm more wheat. I bought all the seeds I could afford and planted it to my farm as I wanted more profit from farming. I did a little tweak and decided to put all my planting activities below my base. So yeah, that's where you're gonna see later on. Oh wow, okay. So fishes are actually useful. So I recently made a fish grill and I just discovered how useful these fishes can be. They have stat boosts on cooking them. So I had to make some. So fishing was a good thing now for me. this is when I discovered it. After buying a lot of the seeds, I was poor today and I had nothing else to do after watering and planting the seeds. I decided to just explore in the wilderness. I haven't explored this left side of the map for a long time and it had quite a lot of materials waiting for me. I killed a bunch of monsters, grabbed a few forageables, mushrooms, water crystals, and even a mana tome out of nowhere. So yeah, this area was packed now since I left it for ages without exploring. On this day, I deployed all my new totems that give experience to other skills and it was amazing. Look at how much XP I get for every skill I had. This was actually a really good game changer. I'm gonna make a lot of totems, make a lot of wheat, and get a lot of XP and money. So this was a good plan to do. I'm gonna make more so I don't need to transfer them each time. So basically how they work is when I harvest something near their borders or tiles, I get experience or gold depending on what kind of totem it is. Now that I have money again, time to buy more cows. For the remainder of the day, I decided it was high time I visit the mines again. I needed an upgrade on all my gears. And with our spell Vacuumulus and a lot of food I crafted when I was busy farming, it was a breeze actually going through these mines. I could just spam my Vacuumulus. I got a bunch of adamantite and immediately I started smelting it all before I headed to bed. I finally made myself a adamant pickaxe and I'm debating if I should make an adamant set. But for now, let's focus on the keys. The usual shenanigan of planting, but this time I was way more organized. I wanted to plant them in a way where I can harvest everything inside the area. Like if that one area is all wheat, it's just all wheat. If not, then I'll combine two plants, but they must yield at the same day. So let's say beetroot and wheat grows after 4 days. So I can plant them together because if ever I don't have enough money to actually buy 55 seeds for one area. So yeah, that's the plan for this farm right now. We're looking pretty neat. I mean, the farm is looking pretty neat now compared to before cluttered, but it still needs improvement, yeah. And for the rest of the day, I decided to chop some woods on the left side forest because I'm honestly running out of planks. I can't build anything anymore, so I need these. The next day, I tried making a sushi table. For some reason, it didn't work and sucked all my material and I'm so sad. Alright, let's stop being sad and appreciate the amount of XP I gained from all these totems and all these plants that are ready to be harvested. It's a lot of XP. I was running out of animal food, so I had to stock up. I went to the mines again to farm some adamantite so I can progress deeper. I honestly didn't care about any more community board quests, even if they were very useful for community tokens. But right now, my main focus is progressing my farm and mining. I made a bunch of furnace so I can smelt multiple metals at once because, you know, having only one takes so long. But yeah, this worked out well for me. With a lot of adamant on hand, I made a bunch of keys. Currently I have 5 keys and I have 1 more crafting. We're gonna venture to the dungeon once more to get the treasure and go further beyond to get some mithril. After reaching floor 29, I finally managed to get myself some mithril. These are the rocks. It looks like they have some blue spots on them or lines. So yeah, mithril, let's go. I'm gonna focus on making mithril tools now. I finally made a baker station after getting my hands on some sugar. So I processed all my sugar canes to sugar and also made some butter since it gave some mana permanently. 5 was enough as usual. And I found out other stuff as well, so I crafted them and discovered you can actually make animal food from wheat. Oh my god. So yeah, it's time to make more wheat farm and just make my own animal food. That way I don't need to buy animal food. I also cook a bunch of new food. I really wanted the stat boost More boost means more productivity because I get stronger. And as I visit the beach, oh my god, I haven't visited this place in a long time. There's so many trash and treasures lying around. There's also a turtle I need to help, which gives me diamond. Let's help him out. Well, we clean this trash. I think it's waiting for me to come back. So let's go back to the turtle. And here we go. A free diamond. That's nice of him. Also, upon visiting the fish shop, I saw that there's a fishing permit which increases my fishing net capacity by 2. Oh my god, I can actually, you know, make more fish net. Put it more in my barn. Farm, I mean. I went to the mines again on this day, and finally, we have managed to reach the treasure area. I got a bunch of goodies, like a large fishing net. We need that since we just expanded our fishing capacity. And also unlocked the area to the next one at floor 31. This area seems more like an ice cave, or I don't know. I think this may be just crystals. But yeah, it's more like an ice cave right now. I was hoping to actually find a lot of mithril here, but it seems there were more on floor 29 than here. But still, I'm happy I could get some. And we have new monsters here. An ice monster. The next day, I got a cutscene where I see Peter here, and a massive squid monster suddenly appeared at the farm. It, for some reason, sprayed some inks all over the farm, and that's really rude. Yeah, he's a jerk, truly. Peter said he could help with the situation, but currently I'm very busy tending my farm, so I kinda ignored it. It's not really that impactful having those inks on the ground, and they can be resolved just by spraying water on them. So not really a priority right now. And for the rest of the day, I just continued my adventures again to the mine, starting off at floor 29 as I deemed this area having more mithril than the 30th floors and above. But yeah, I'm not really that lucky. I only managed to get about 26 mithril bar, and I guess that's good enough. Hopefully we can craft a pickaxe by the next day. And since I didn't really have any more use for bright adamant, I made myself a full set of armor, which I can wear the next day after it's finished crafting overnight. Harvest day! I had a skill that gives me extra stats on my items I crafted, and look at the additional stats I have on my items. It's so good. We have a full set of adamantite armor with bonus stats. That's amazing. Look at my new drip. And with my remaining adamantite, I made a watering can because I don't like this iron watering can anymore. It's too slow and fills up really low. I just want to appreciate how organized my farm is right now. We have different plants, but don't worry, they grow at the same pace, like 5 days, 5 days, 4 days, and 4 days. And right now we're very poor, so I can't really buy a bunch of seeds that's worth one area. So this works for now. I'm happy with this. It looks nice. This day was just spent on chopping down wood, as I really need planks to make structures or stations. I was poor. I have no materials. I have no gold. But our farm is starting to look good. I felt pretty rich today, so I bought 2 pigs and a cow, and then some animal food. I wanted to increase my livestock as they were a very good source of money, and milk was a very good source of mana. So I just kept getting more cows. Pigs are, for the purpose of the pigs, is the description says it makes animals happy. So I guess having pigs is a nice thing, so I don't need to keep petting my cows. As you may have noticed, I already made myself a mithril pickaxe, but I wanted to mine more mithril as I wanted the mithril axe, so I can start chopping those giant wood in the base. I got only about 23 mithril ore, and that's fine with me. And as I slept, a random delivery dragon came back again, and he was looking for the Archmage of Sunhaven, and yeah, he's looking for Lucia. and he gave us some money as a reward. What a nice dragon. Alright, the start of a new day. Finally, I'm trying to craft my Mithril Axe, which would be a very good asset in the future. After taking care of my business in the farm, buying a lot of wheat seeds and planting them, I spent the whole day again in the mines as usual. Upon reaching the floor 39, I was so excited to see a new ore. Could this be Sunite? But actually it was not. It was a Heavenite. Heavenite. And I'm not sure what it's used for. But since I had no more time, I'm about to pass out, I just left it there and went to bed. I mean, ran home and went to bed. On this day, something weird happened. An NPC was in my home, Ronald. I'm not sure if I met him or not, but I think he's the barkeep at the tavern. So it seems the Archmage or Lucia wanted me to go to the tavern and have a plenty of inventory space. I was thinking there was an event of some sort. So I went to the tavern after, of course, taking care of my farm. Upon arriving, Ronald asked me to put on a blindfold, and I'm not sure why. And upon entering the room, it seems the people from Sunhaven surprised me. It seems it was my birthday, and I didn't even know. I forgot what I put when I made my... I don't know when I was born, actually. So it was actually this day, summer on day the 19th. Well, this is nice of them. So yeah, I blew out the candle, I got some cake, and I went home. Yeah, for some reason time went by so fast. It's already 11 AM. And good thing I took care of my farm before I actually went there. And I actually forgot to harvest one of the crops. Oh. Also, I forgot I need to plant some things. I recently bought some seeds before going to the bar, so that's a good thing. I have plenty of sugar canes on hand. I'm just gonna plant them, water them, and straight head to bed. We only have 40 minutes left before we pass out after all. So good thing we had our rain cloud. Summon the rain and head to bed. Okay, let me just show you guys how I appreciate my farm right now. Look at the row of wheat, the row of sugar canes, and the row of green roots. And yeah, just ignore the other row with lots of random plants because I was poor that time. But now look, we have a good looking farm. Yes. I bought another cow since I was pretty rich today. I had 8k. And I bought some animal food. I had an idea of just putting my cows outside the base. So I remodeled my area for my coop. And I'll place most of the cows here. Or my other animals. Since I had like 4 extra slots. Just place down some auto feeders outside. And then I'm gonna put like the magnet beside the selling portal. And yeah, I didn't really feel like doing anything else today, so I decided to just clean my farm of every materials that was available. Like destroying the large rocks, chopping these heavy trunks. And yeah, so far so good. The farm is looking great. I managed to clear the area right here, but I didn't really know what to do with this area. Let's clean. Let's go. Putting the animals outside work wonders. I was thinking of expanding my barn area and also putting all those animals outside. And that way I can only have 1 pressure magnet chest and 1 feeding station. So I don't need to keep going inside barns just to pick up materials. The yield from the cows and the pigs. And I could just put like 1 auto feeder. No more going to a barn and a chicken coop to feed these animals. I can just have them all outside. I also made like 4 additional cooking pots as I wanted to hasten my process for making cheese. Cheese was really valuable since I had a passive that increases the value of mana regenerated of eating cooked meals. And then to the mines again, as we needed mithril and more sunite ores. I said more, but I never got one yet. This is where I got so excited for the sunite, but it was actually a heavenite, not a sunite. And it was kinda useless because I have no idea what to do with a heavenite right now. Heavenite. With a rusty key on hand, I reached the treasure room. Let's see what this big guy required. This big fella wanted some stone, which we had a lot of. Mithril, which we had a lot of. And diamond, which we had enough. The adamant though, we only had 3, so I gotta farm this one. For the chest, it gave me an iron ring and some amethyst and 2k coin. The iron ring was pretty decent, actually. But I had no use for it as I want more mana right now. Harvest day again! Let's go! I worked on modifying the farm again. I wanted it to be more efficient, and so I had it cut down by a row as the quake or earthquake only covered like about 10 columns. And if you've noticed, I'm pretty rich right now. So I bought myself a barn permit, tier 2 and tier 3. And also a lot of feeding stations. I was planning to move all my cows outside. But for now, let's spend the rest of the day in the mine. And we needed more ores. And stones are actually worth a lot of gold. It's like 1 gold each. And we get a bunch of stones just by vacuuming everything inside. And after mining enough adamantite, I can finally get rid of this guy. Now we can access the 41st. Is that how you say it? 41 or for the 41st floor. The monsters here are pretty annoying. Even if you kill the monsters, the poison it spewed out still follows you like a homing missile, and it's very annoying. And since I don't really have enough time, I couldn't explore deeper to find some sunite, so I had to go home. On this day, day 51, finally I had made a jam maker. Jams actually provide you with experience, which was amazing actually. But it required some mana. It took very long to actually craft, but it's pretty worth it thinking about it. I should make some jam, especially this banana jam. I could hunt for bananas. As you can see, I was pretty rich today, and I would like to feed my animals, so I purchased a bunch of animal food so they won't ever run out. Also, it was high time to upgrade my sword, so I made myself a mithril sword. And well, for my remaining gold, I spent it all on seeds. And then I went to the right side of the forest as I wanted to chop a lot of wood as I really needed some log to upgrade my barns. I don't have any more planks and I don't have any more wood at the base. I needed to plant some trees actually. So that was one goal in mind. Let me highlight the melee dash attack. It's so fun to play with. You can just dash around and kill monsters on the go. I have a skill which gives me mana every time I kill an enemy. And also, I have a skill that regenerates mana depending on how much mana I expend. So yeah, the dash attack actually takes a lot of mana. I think 18 or 20, but still, that's good enough. I went to the mines again and finally got my first sunite ores. And yeah, this was a great thing to happen. Finally, I have a visualization of how we can have a sunite pickaxe in the near future. I went on and kept mining on the mines, hoping to get more sunite ore. But I'm not sure if it's lucky or not to get a havenite. I'm not really sure what to do with these. Yeah, for the rest of the day, it was just mining for me. The next day, harvest day again, and this means I can reorganize my farm again to look different and more convenient than before. I also upgraded my barn to a tier 3 barn, making our livestock slot into 62, so I can buy like 4 more cows. I couldn't wait any longer since summer was ending and I really wanted a mount. I bought some summer token with the remaining gold I have. And now we have a mount. Check this out. We have a surfboard. Now we move 30% faster. Neat. And with my cool new mount, I planted some seeds. I then resumed my sunite ore excavation in the caves. because I really wanted that pickaxe so I can have a stronger pickaxe. I only managed to get about 10 Sunlight ores. That was pretty sad, but well, we can always go another day. Look at all the juicy wheat and sugarcane ready for harvest. Experience, let's go. I bought about 4 cows because, you know, I have more slots now. I also built 2 more baker stations so I can craft some animal food with the wheat I just harvested. Chop more wood as we were low. And since I was actually allowed to visit Nelvari's forest, I checked it out. There were so many new materials here, like a fruit, a fairy cherry. It provided us with a permanent buff as well as other fruits. So this was a really exciting place to explore. There are also new monsters, and yeah, this was quite an experience. There was this mushroom, and when you jump on the mushroom, it will bounce you up. That's pretty neat. And as I continued onwards, I spoke with Salix. He was like a guardian in this forest. And his friend seems inanimate. He said he has not been infused with mana for a long time. So I told him I can try. And when I infused him with mana or manners, he came alive. And they allowed me to enter Nelvari. It was a pretty interesting place with elves and a different kind of environment that we were usually used to seeing. There's a lot of things in the map, and oh my god, Sunhaven has a lot of content to offer, actually. And I was kinda in a rush since it's already 9:30 p.m. and I needed a place to sleep or else I'm gonna pass out. So I approached the center of the town or city. Gorwin greeted us and told us that Elias already told them that a human was coming to Nelvari. And so he guided me to the farm. There we met Wesley. He prepared the farm for us, and I don't know what his problem was, but he felt very suspicious of us. But we showed him that we can plant very well in a farm because we're a farmer after all. In a rush, I panically used my skills, planted the acorn that was given to me as quick as I could because I really am running out of time. I don't want to pass out. I don't want to get charged hospital fees. And well, after displaying him that I can put seeds on their ground, they left. But we have Lily the caterpillar here showing us around the farm. I also managed to befriend myself with this griffin. This griffin can take us back to Sunhaven with the cost of a berry. So after all that shenanigan, time was running out, so I made my way to the house in Nelvari. It was actually a shortcut on another way, but I didn't notice that. So I hurriedly went inside the house. And this thing was huge. I didn't like it. But before I went to actually go inside the house, I checked this chest outside. I wanted to store stuff that's related to Nelvari since I won't be able to use them in Sunhaven. So yeah, I need to redecorate where the bed is located because currently it's too far and it takes so much time to just get here. So yeah, I still have like an hour left. That should be good enough time to set it up next to the door and sleep. I seem to have forgotten to hit the record button on day 55, but yes, this is what happened. I relocated my cows and pigs inside the barns outside, as this was more convenient to collect and have auto feeders refill these bars. So yeah, it doesn't look that bad, right? I made stone flooring since wood is more precious, and stone we can just get a lot of them in the mine. And yeah, this is way more convenient. I have the chest near the shipping portal so I can just get all the milk and other produce there. It was a nice change. I decided not to go explore Nelvari yet as I had so much things to do in Sunhaven first. I needed to collect all the Sunite ores I need to upgrade my gears. That's one of my goals. So after that, maybe I'll explore Nelvari, but yeah, I should do all the quests I need to do in Sunhaven first. before even thinking of going there. So yeah, for the last day of summer, I just did what I normally been doing, watering my plants. And at around 12, I need to go to the town hall and speak to Bernard. Alright, I also decided to make another farm at this side of the farm. As I wanted to expand more of my farm. I have more money to buy seeds now, so I'm not gonna be lacking in any money. I have a way to make pet food with wheat, so I'm not running out anytime soon as well. So our Sunhaven farm is pretty good right now. We're doing a lot of farming. Our cows are making a lot of milks. We're pretty much rich right now. So for Nelvari, the currency there is different. So it's gonna be different. After I'm done planting and watering my new area for farming, I'm gonna go talk to Bernard so we can start the event. On the last day of summer, they have a beach barbecue, and here there was a hot dog eating contest, which I won because I eat so fast compared to our enemies or our competition. Look at how fast I'm eating the hot dog. And the very last thing we had in this event was fireworks. So yeah, let's take a look at this pretty scenery we have. I was not going to Nelvari supposedly for the whole summer, but I got curious and went anyways. Yeah, since fall is coming, I think I'm gonna focus more on mining and all the other stuff to do in fall. I mean, Sunhaven, I wouldn't touch any other place yet, not until I was done with my business here. I don't wanna multitask on 2 farms at the moment. Yeah, last day of summer. Let's take a good rest. We have done so well for summer. Oh yeah, I won a hot dog hat since I was the winner.